And we're back to the comfort zone of Transformers here on Random Review, and you'll excuse me if I take it a little bit easy on this one and review something that's less of a handful, that being a Generation 1 toy, because that's about as simple as it gets. It was kind of a rough weekend. We had a little bit of chaos here on the home front, but things are seemingly calming down now, so just to kind of ease back into things, we're going to cover something nice and simple, but still something very, very cool. This, of course, is Generation 1 Blurr. My buddy Brian sent this to me for my birthday, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to do a vlog later, tell you all the misadventures that happened on my birthday, because there's some really cool stuff that happened. Just some, like, really weird things going on, and it's a lot of fun. There's actually a lot to go over. So that'll be coming, sometime later this week whenever I can, get around to it. But as we can see here, this is the vehicle mode, and this is from the 86, the year 3, where everything was movie-based. And look at, man, that is such an unusual vehicle mode. Like, he is a futuristic car in the hover car style, and he is extremely futuristic, probably the most out there of all of the new designs they released that year. That was kind of the gimmick. It was basically just make him as futuristic as possible, make him sleek and space age, and this is like what the 80s thought cars were going to look like in 2005 apparently. But I know I've always been really into this vehicle mode. Like I kind of go for it, as this super speed space car. I like it. Now you can see he is blue and blue and blue and some more blue. He's blue all over. There are varying shades all over, and you can see there's some stickering here, which is a little bit more green than the rest of him. Primarily very nice shade of just like this neutral blue color and a very pale sky blue. And then a little bit more, like both of these, like it's more gray and off-white, but there is a slight blue hue to them as well. He's one of the most cohesive color schemes I've ever seen in a Transformer. It's a little bit strange, but at the same time, it makes him look a lot more solid and more together as vehicles go. Now, as you see, he also has the thing that airplane Transformers kind of have. A lot of things going up top, and then a big block going on underneath as we try and hide away the robot mode bits. Something I wasn't aware of for years, Blurr does have wheels. Like, I had no idea. I honestly had no idea Blurr actually had any kind of mobility in vehicle mode. I just kind of thought he was a hover car and he just kind of flew him around like a jet toy. One thing I will tell you, when you are looking for this guy's second hand, of course the number one thing that's missing is going to be the shield here, which does disconnect. And without it, the vehicle mode just kind of looks awful. So, yeah, that's kind of an unfortunate thing. But what people don't really account for more often is these things, what will be the arms. Because here, you might see eBay listings where they're like down, like touching the ground. That's not always a design choice. That might be the shoulder articulation loosening up, and these parts not being able to actually sit level like this, like they're supposed to. So if you see one on eBay and they're down like that, eBay email the seller on eBay, ask them if that's intentional or if these little side pieces are actually just too loose to hang that way. Just in case, a little tip, because it's easy to get a bum Blurr that way. So that's what reviews are for. I'm supposed to be saving you money by telling you if this toy is worth it or not, and it's really important on aftermarket toys because this guy costs a fortune in some places. Okay, so let's actually get him into robot mode here, because that's really all you can do. He comes with a gun, but this Blurr has not yet developed whole in-vehicle mode technology like a lot of previous Transformers had. He wouldn't get that till the next year when he had a Target Master partner. But we will get him into robot mode just to see what he can do in this pre-Target Master form. We'll start by getting these out. Look at that. Listen to that. Ah, wow. Everyone thank Brian, because, oh my god, this is like one of the best conditioned Blurrs I've ever seen. Like, he's got one little corner where the paint is kind of chipped, but that is it. The paint everywhere else is exquisite. The plastic isn't scratched up. The stickers are all mostly good condition. You know, he's got a bunch of rear stickers here, a little roughed up, but man, I love this old 80s tech detail they used to put in there. So, but man, he did good. He found a really, really good condition Blurr. Really cool toy. So, bring all that down, all that slides out. Now this is the iffy part because it's kind of on a double hinge here to get everything in place, which I will tell you right now because I'm sure someone wondered. That gap in the vehicle mode, that is intentional. Like, I can't get that to go away. Especially weird because you can see the face peeking through there. But you can see through the shape of the top of the vehicle, that is pretty much how it's meant to flow. It can't, you know, it can't go any closer. And I've never seen photos of it any closer than that. But as kind of a consequence of this not quite collapsing, there is a double hinge here that is kind of tricky to work with. You just kind of have to pull and pray, because this gets a little bit iffy because there's so many parts kind of moving around. I'm trying really hard not to like unintentionally break something in the process. There we go. I have had occasions where that just like makes frightening noises trying to adjust. Yes, you know, just in case you didn't see it, the head does rotate up. Okay, so back him up, raise camera. That's our G1 Blurr. It's always an interesting thing to see these old 86 toys because, unlike the toys before that, the animators got to decide what these characters were going to look like, and the toy designers just kind of had to go with it and make it work somehow. And a lot of them got really iffy sometimes. Rodimus Prime especially, where he just kind of... he has like a 3-step transformation. And most of it just kind of hides away. It's not all that impressive. But Blurr, I think, came out one of the better ones. As you can see, there's not a whole lot of resemblance to his actual character model, mostly because of that giant square head helmet thing. The heads for some reason, the heads on these 86 characters are always a lot bigger than they were on Transformers previous and even Transformers after this. I'm not entirely sure why, but I don't know, I've seen worse than Blurr, to be honest, so we'll go with that. He's got all the details. He's got his mohawk horn antenna thing. He looks good. I'm happy with him. Also happy with like just how the robot mode came out. Like I think of all the ones that came out from the movie, he came out one of the cleanest. Like he really came out like really nice here. As you can see, he's still predominantly those 2 shades of blue. There's a little bit more showing than there was before. Strangely enough, we've added more shades, and I will admit there's more of a greenish hue to some of these parts. But, you know, it's a blue-green. You know, it's still all in the blue family. And you see the fists and the helmet are also a unique shade of blue. He is blue. Abba Deba, he's blue. Look at this all around. And he doesn't have a backpack. Jeez. Might be one of the first Transformers to actually just have like a straight up backpack of parts. Articulation you already saw. It is traditional G1. The shoulders rotate up and down, and that's pretty much it. He does have knees, but he has absolutely nothing in the way of hips. And just in case you're wondering, well, his hips look a little too close. He's not one of those that can extend his hips outward at all. That's pretty much just where they are. So that doesn't work. I hate that. I hate when they have no knees but no hips, because that really doesn't equate to anything. He's like a G1 toy. You know, the whole point of him was that transforming was the special part. You got a toy car and a toy action figure in one purchase, and that was supposed to be the cool part. We can equip his shield, as well as his gun, which is a very G1 style gun. I love G1's take on weaponry. I always thought they had kind of like good looking space age guns and rifles and things. You know, not quite so realistic, but it works. So he gets pretty well armed. Shield, gun, he's ready for battle. Nothing really invoking his speed other than his name. I still really like the toy, how it keeps all this nice sleek look to him. It's very, very well done. I will also say he is one of the old die-cast guards, so there's a few pieces, in particular the lower legs here, are die-cast. And that's die-cast used properly. It's like here in the lower legs, because that helps stability quite a bit. Keeps him from tipping over. That's good die-cast usage. Not in the arms, titanium. So that's G1 Blurr in a nutshell. He is quite a nice little figure for his time. A little bit more playability if you have the Target Master version, but that one also goes for a lot more because Target Masters were easily lost. So if you're in the market for one, keep in mind, yeah, the shield, it's on clips, so make sure the shield isn't broken or anything, and make sure those arms are nice and stiff, otherwise the vehicle mode is going to be quite a bit droopy.